Those few peaceful moments between going live and anybody knowing that you're going live. It's a really odd feeling, but it's a real thing. And it really happens. And we're doing it now. So what I need to do is bring up... Oh, now that's interesting. Hang on. Did she give me an email address? Apps. There's the email address. Yeah, there's not a lot happening now. I hope that is on. Is that on? Hello. Hi, Zane. How you doing? Bear with me while this is all being set up still and stuff like that. Bear with me. More will be happening very soon. I just have to do that annoying thing, copying something from my phone to my computer. And I didn't bring the glasses. Damn it. Is that where the at is? Uh-huh. I have a chat thing there. Okay, cool. Right, that's good. Add a guest. We're going to add a guest. Right. Okay. Oh, that would have sent an email. Okay, this app gets cleverer and cleverer, and soon it will be the cleverest. I should tweet now as well. Gosh, I'm so disorganized sometimes. No, I don't want a GIF. Okay, did that? That's not. I'll do it now. Okay, and then over here we have Discord. Oh, let's post something in Discord. I remember Discord from years ago. You all know we've got a Discord again, right? No one knows. No one knows. I wish more people knew, I'll be honest. That would be helpful to me if more people knew. Oh, that's no good. It'll do. I've done a tweet. What else can I do? Why is William Shatner trending on Twitter? Oh, it's just his birthday. That's okay. Oh, you need the link to Discord, right? So the Discord is it's accessible. You need to be on Patreon or YouTube membership to access it, and then it just it just comes up for you apparently when you log into Discord. So there isn't a link as such. Other than to direct you to Patreon at patreon.com/earlymorningbarking, or sign up to a YouTube membership, which works with the Discord now, allegedly. As much as I struggled with that, I think it works now. I have got someone who is signed up to a YouTube. Oh, bugger. Hang on. Sorry, we're having technical difficulties here. Right. Right. Sorry, everyone watching live. This is happening. This is doing a thing. We're just. Why is that not showing up as a link? Right, bear with me. It's all being weird. I've used this thing a number of times and it's worked fine every time. Why is that not a link? I'm going to send that, and maybe that should have been a link. Sorry, everyone. Can I paste it into TikTok? Can you even? Oh, you can see messages. Yeah, you might have to cut and paste it. It's not showing up as a link every time I stick it somewhere. With a backup plan for when things like this go wrong, to be perfectly honest. That would be useful. Because I don't know what to do when it doesn't work. In what way isn't it working? Right, we had an issue with Dr. Ruth this morning, and she just tried restarting everything, and it worked. I know it's not always the most encouraging advice to do that. Try turning it off and on again, but I don't know. It worked this morning, and it's. Oh wait, no, we have it. There you are. Hello.
Okay, I had to do it on my phone. 1 second. Yeah, I want to do it on my laptop. I don't know what's happening. Oh, I needed Chrome. I don't have Chrome. All right, whatever.
Ah, right. Okay. Fair enough. Well, you're here now.
All right.
How are you doing?
I'll have to download it for next time. But yes, how are you?
I'm
Hello.
good.
Hey.
It's so nice to finally talk to you. I feel like, I don't know, we've just sort of existed parallel to each other or something for some time now. And,
Yeah,
and
I
yet here we
watched
are.
you. Yeah, I watched you with Nameless in the past. I know, and then all of us just start, going live with each other, right? It's like
Yeah.
our own little community.
It's
So
fun though. I like it.
how's England? Are you in England?
I am. I'm in England. It's a little bit drizzly and a little bit grey as usual, and
Yeah.
everything's going to shit like it is everywhere else.
Yeah, it's gray here in California too, raining, and but I don't think it's going to be like that for much longer. So I need the sun,
Oh
man.
God, I would love some sun. I have memories of sun. I know what it's like. I've seen it. I've been there, but it's like a distant memory, like a fondly remembered dream now. Just there must be some coming soon, but I think we've got another like 3 or 4 months of dirge now.
Oh
That's
my God.
It's just the north of England. I love it here. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else, but at the same time, I'd love to live anywhere warmer.
Yeah, at
It's,
least during the yuck seasons, definitely.
yeah, well, that's sort of September to May. So I don't know. It's kind of stuck with it for most of it, but yeah,
Uh,
it's not quite California.
Before I logged on, I started watching your video, The 5 Ways to Hurt a Narcissist. I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to see what he has to say. And then you're like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah. I don't normally remember my videos, but that was a good one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because I was looking you up real fast. And then that was one of the first ones that popped up. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I was watching it and you're like, you're supposed to be the healthy one. Like what are you doing? Why do you want to be, act like a disordered mind or whatever? And I was like, yes.
Yeah. It's a thing on YouTube that just got me really pissed off one day. It gets me really pissed off every day, but that was a day that it just kind of the dam burst a bit.
Yes. I know I did one with Richard Gran, and not with, I did a critique on his video. How he was tearing how to destroy or something. Was well, the thing is when you put out information like that, because we're not all alike, and some of us can be very violent. That narcissists are violent. I'm saying, but you might have that violent component, or they don't know if they're dealing with a borderline or an antisocial. They don't know.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
yeah, and so when there's videos talking about poking the bear all the time, you don't know what you're going to get in return. And his videos, and I critiqued another one too that was not him, some other woman that was talking about she's a normie and she's trying to teach people how to be a sociopath to hurt a narcissist. I'm like, it was the dumbest shit I have ever.
That is just truly seriously fucked up. I don't get why people don't see this as fucked up.
I know.
Like it's literally a video entitled "How to Hurt a Person," and I don't know why that is not like it's called "How to Hurt Somebody." Why is that not a bad thing? Why is that like if it was any other group of society, then there would be fucking outraged. It wouldn't even stay up. It would just be taken down by YouTube.
Yes, and I think since we have Arrested Development and we are emotionally stunted, at a young age. So I tell people, I go, okay, so you want to beat up a 3-year-old. That's what you want to do. The emotional mental state of an infant, that's what you want to do. And I mean, number one, even me trying to be better and learning about, my own triggers, my own projections, that was a fucking hard one. Learning about my projections. What? You mean you're really not doing this fucked up thing to me?
Yeah.
What? Yeah, that was mortifying to find out and take responsibility for. Not just finding that out, that my brain is tricking me, but then to be like, oh shit, so I'm wrong? Me?
It
I'm wrong?
hurts. It hurts so much, doesn't it?
Yes, it
I
sucks.
I still think there might well be stuff that I've still not accepted that I was wrong about after therapy. After all that, I'm now supposedly like as good as I'm going to get. This is it. And if I don't accept responsibility for something now, it's probably not coming. And there's still stuff. It's like I always, it's like you're told the sky is green and you're looking at it and think it's definitely blue, but you're all just saying it's green. You liars. And but eventually you just learn to capitulate and go, okay, the sky's green, whatever. Yeah. You'll leave me alone if I say the sky's green. I don't care. So it's fine.
Well, number one, I would always fight that. I would always fight against that. I'm not going to just believe you, telling me something. And then we're fighting because, our perceptions are different. Now, even normal people, they both have different perspectives. And even normal people can't get along at all, because it's your side, and the truth, right? Well, my side is fucking fantasy land big time, or something deep inside of me that is coming out to attack you, something that I couldn't look at myself, so I'd rather fight it on the outside. And then I'm destroying, the person or whatever and blaming them and shit. And then what's really fucked up is I don't know that that's abusive. I don't. I think that this is my normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is and you're fucking wrong. You're wrong. Not me. And so that's why when I hear people like when you watch like Sam Vaknin or whatever, and he's talking about or anyone that does brain scans and stuff, and when you're abused over long periods of time, it changes your your connectors all up in here, right?
Yeah.
And and you're molding the brain into a mashed potato mess up there. But since I don't see it and my projections are real to me, and this is my normal, I do not see it as being abusive. Now, I mean, I cuss anyway. And some people who haven't been around cussing will get somebody that's attacking you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they're just like, oh my God. And so they're, horrified, already, and they just want the pain to stop, So they might feel gaslit themselves, because I believe what I believe. And if it's different from your reality, I'm trying to make your reality my reality. And if you don't, you're gaslighting me. And so that's a huge brain fuck, right?
Oh God, yeah. The projection shit is just so difficult. I mean, because I've ended up in like deadlock arguments where you're both accusing each other of projection. And how the fuck do you get over that when you're like, well, this is not my problem. You're just projecting. And then they reply with, well, actually, you're projecting all of this. There's no argument here. It's your problem. Like, well,
Yeah.
there's no moving on that. And you end up just falling out Really,
Yeah.
that's all you can do with people. The projection is it's an absolute fucker. That is something I still suffer with today, is figuring out the motivations of other people and always landing on the negative. I think the worst of people. And
Yeah.
I stick with that because it seems to have never done me wrong. Like expecting the worst from people, they'll not let me down more times than they do. You know?
Mhm. Yeah.
So I've kind of stuck with that. And that might be my projection, but I see that as a bit of a, I don't know. It's like it's kept me safe on occasion. Like, it can't necessarily always be a bad thing.
Well, I have trust issues, of course. And so I never just, you know, I guess there's people out there that walk the earth believing the good in everything and, toxic positivity, all this shit.
Mm.
And me, my head is always on a swivel looking for the threat. And not just out there, but in here. And then I'm looking for the threat through your mouth, you know,
Yeah.
waiting for something. So now that I have to be consciously, aware of my thoughts all the time. So every time you talk, I'm making sure that I'm keeping my devil dogs on a leash, right? You make sure that are they fucking with me right now? Oh, maybe not. Let's just wait. Do I really have to attack? No, I don't. Can we just, and so I kind of have calmed down. I've also let a lot of shit go,
Hmm.
you know, um, like just teasing, just small shit that might, fuck with my head. And I'm just not, like small things are, it doesn't bug me and stuff. What's really hard is when people know about our disorder and then they're looking for the threat in us or they're blaming us for fucking everything. And we're just like, oh, so I can never be right now.
Hmm.
Now I can never be right. That means all of my feelings are wrong. Everything is fucking a lie, you know?
Yeah.
Um, and it's just like, yeah, that really makes relationships very difficult.
I think ultimately, once people start viewing us in that way, you can't come back from that. It's like that relationship, whether it's a friendship or whatever, it's done. If someone is going to think that of us, then I don't know how you like counter that.
Right.
You know.
Because there's the fun part of the relationship, of course. You have fun and everything. But there's always going to be some sort of conflict coming up too, you know?
Hmm.
And well, okay, so and that's hard for us, right? When we're completely unaware, then we're just like conflict resolution, out the window.
Yeah.
But trying to learn how to do conflict resolution, I feel like I'm still hitting a brick wall if my partner isn't even gonna listen to fucking nothing that comes out of my mouth, and then that's even a bigger fight because now you're fighting about not being heard, not just the issue, but
Yeah.
just heard. And then it just compounds and it's like, fuck this relationship shit. Just, breaking up every other fucking week stuff. You're just like, fuck it.
Yeah. Absolutely. That once you feel you're not being heard, then that's another sort of I don't know how you come back from that. That's another sort of things are done at that point, because if you aren't being heard, do you know, I heard, who was it? God, it was actually Jordan Peterson of all people. It was a TikTok, and he was talking about his experiences as a couples therapist. And he says one thing they all know: if you're dealing with a couple and one of them rolls their eyes while the other one is talking, then that's it. That's it. There's no amount of therapy. Like once one of them has contempt for what the other one is saying, then they're not being heard, and you can't deal with that. No one can come back from that. That's it.
I saw that, and I told my partner that, because he would be dismissive sometimes and roll his eyes. So I would tell him, I go, yeah, he said that divorce right away. You roll your eyes, that means divorce, because you don't even want to whatever. So anytime he would go to roll his eyes, I'd say divorce, divorce, joke or whatever. And then he started being more aware if he's going to roll his eyes or not, because it's like, that's hurtful.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
It is. And look, I'm a guy who occasionally needs eyes rolling at him. I accept that, just in a general day-to-day term. But not when I'm talking about how I feel about something or how something affects me, whatever. That, we all need to be heard in that way. And
Yes.
yeah, once no one is listening, then that's it. Just
Yeah.
done with.
In the past, I would get very angry if I'm, because my mother never listened to shit. She was very dismissive of what I had to say, or she would go, "Oh, Sarah," like a pity fucking thing. It's like, I'm a kid, and you're like, "Oh, poor you," and I'm just. So that's that's in my shame core, buried deep inside, that will come out in projections or anger, if I'm triggered.
Yeah. Do you know, I was thinking about this the other day. I'm aware that my mother, and probably still to this day, has this power over me where she can fucking stamp on something immediately. And I remember this as a kid, when you'd start moaning about something you felt about, so it could, if it was the right thing, she could shut it down. Like, no, you don't feel like that. Shut up. And she could just, it was a skill. And I realized that was probably very bad in the long run. That was a thing, but still at the same time, I do feel like with a lot of things it helped. I don't know. I go back and forth on that. It depends on the issue, I guess, and whatever it was I was moaning about. But there were definitely times I benefited as a kid from being told, "Shush now, stop," because I'm a worrier. I've got that BPD side of it all as well, which means just everything is a what if and a but kind of and there were definitely times when I needed that stop, just stop now. But yeah, depending on the issue, that could go different ways, thinking about it. So, but I think she actually still has that ability to do that. I don't blame her for it at all. It's kind of an opposite thing. My father, on the other hand, that's a very different story. And I don't think he ever shut me down, but I would never go to him with that, because I think he had very set ways of how he imagined life is and how it goes, and anything that might deviate from that is a bad thing. And you didn't go there with anything like that. I feel like I'm getting strangely vaguer the more I talk about it. Without, it's one of those, like, I don't want to go into too much detail, but I'm just not making sense anymore. Let's move on.
Well, like, he's not emotionally available, but not abusive. He just wasn't there,
No, it's, you see, I think how I've come to feel about it and rationalized it now is that I think that he has the same issues that I have. I think these issues have been passed down from God knows how many generations back of my family.
Right.
And you do hear the stories of, oh, if you think you're bad, you should hear what your father's like. Oh, if you think your father's bad, you should remember what your grandmother was like, but she was nothing compared to what your great grandmother was like. So I don't know. I think these things have been with us for years. And I was the victim of sort of all the fears and worries that he had for me being projected out into the real world.
Yes.
And so it wasn't a lack of emotional availability. It was an overabundance of emotional availability, I think.
Okay. I did that to my children. I did a video on parental emotional incest. So that was kind of the parent being all up in your ass and everything and wanting to know all your movements. And because of my anxiety, I needed to control my children. So to make me feel safe. Even
Mhm.
as a, it's like they're adults, and I'm like, where are you? You have to text me. I need to know where you text me when you're on your way home. I don't want to, but you know. And I was very just, and this has kept them from actually going out and finding relationships.
Right.
I stunted their relationship growth, and yes, that sucks. And I'm scared to death that they're gonna date a toxic fuck like me, right?
Yeah. You see,
Oh.
these are the reasons why I'm glad I don't have my own children, because the amount of worry that I would have about everything on a constant basis, just all the time, I'd be completely dysfunctional. And exactly like that, just all up in that. Where are you going? Who are you seeing? What are you doing? Why have you done that? What do you think about this? And just everything would
Mm-hmm.
become an obsession. And
Yeah.
it's sort of through realizing that about myself that I forgave my parents and everyone else going back. It's like, I get it. I know what that feels like. I know
Mhm.
how I feel about my dog, for God's sake. I can only imagine how much worse I'd be with an actual human child of my own. My
Mhm.
God, I kind of get upset thinking about this kid that doesn't exist. You know, it's yeah. Oh God, he's got it. I'm so worried about him if he's ever born. That's a weird thing. And I'd
Yeah.
like to think that I'd not do that as a parent, that I would learn those lessons. But it's not that easy because you're motivated by raw emotion, and that is going to be there whether I decide to act on it or not.
Yes. I didn't want to raise my children the way I was raised, but instead of doing the abusive stuff, I did the enmeshment stuff. But um, I mean, I would buy child psychology books. I would read up on these things. I would try different shit. I was watching Super Nanny, you
Mhm.
know, on TV. I was trying to figure out how to be a good parent, and still you know, the bad shit would come out, whether it's being overly protective or my anxiety not letting my kids do the things that they would want to do because of my social anxiety. I don't want to kick it with other parents at fucking play dates and shit like that. I don't want to do. I'm just like, I'm never RSVPing to, you know, the parties when they were kids and stuff. I'm like, fuck that shit. I maybe went like one or two of them, and I'm just like, huh, because I can't do. I can do small talk for a very short period of time, and there's nothing there. I feel like people are like cattle.
Yeah,
Nothing fucking there that I want to talk to you about.
I would be exactly the same in that situation. And if I behaved any differently, it would be me playing a role. It
Oh
would
yeah.
be, I could do that. Turn up, I call it game show host mode, where you're just everybody's best friend. You've got a nice question to ask everybody. You're interested in people. And it's bullshit. I'm not. I don't care. I don't want to know about people. I don't
Mm-hmm.
care where you're from, Bob. I don't care what you do. Just leave me
Right.
alone. And
Yeah.
I haven't worked out what that's about. Yeah, it feels so like dismissive. I don't know if it's hateful. I don't know what it is that motivates that in me. This lack of interest of being part of them, and there is some sort of aloofness to it. Like I don't want to lower myself to your level, whatever I've perceived it to be.
Yes.
And for
Yeah.
some reason, I've put you on a lower level than me, even though I don't know you. I've not even met you. That's the point of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Meeting new people it always comes with a why the fuck would I want to know you?
Yes. And so then I have learned, because I don't like people asking about me, because I don't want to talk to you about me. And I know that that's weird, but it's like, because I'm not a spotlight. I like being funny and stuff and like comedy, but like when people are trying to get to know the real me, there is no real me, so fuck off.
Well,
Right.
I have the element of you don't want to know that, right? What you want to have a nice chat with someone. You want to hear about where I went on holiday and what TV show I've just watched that I like. Like you don't want to get to know this stuff that's in here because you aren't ready for this stuff that's in here. So, you know, I'm saving you from yourself, dude. Just back up and that kind of thing. Oh, thank you, Ray. My lights change color when someone donates money. So that just happened.
Yeah, so just enjoy the mask show that's going to be going on. And yeah, I usually I don't like to approach people, but they can come to me, and I am totally cool with asking them open-ended questions. I mean, I want to slice my throat having to do this shit, but I will ask them open-ended questions because people love to talk about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So if I just ask them things, they'll just keep talking and talking, and then you segue into the next thing that they're talking about and all this shit, and then I'll just kind of dismiss it away from me or whatever, and they'd be like, "Oh, okay, well, it was nice meeting you," and la, 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 blah. You know.
And you're thinking, I've already forgotten your name.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
do.
I have the worst short-term memory. So bad. I have to keep a notepad at all times, with me to I mean, I have my phone, and then I forget to look at my phone notes.
Yeah. Phone notes aren't good. I mean, I know a lot of people swear by them, but I think pen and paper. I don't want to sound old, but honestly, writing something down and having it in front of you, it's so much better.
Yes, I love writing. I love pens. I'm always buying notebooks. I'm always buying new pens. I've been doing that since I was a kid, though.
Do you know what? There's something so promising about a fresh notepad. There's just something that says I'm going to sort my life out. I'm going to make notes. There's going to be lists, and all of this. This notepad. This was the day my life changed when I got this notepad, and I felt that about every notepad I've ever bought in my life.
Yes. And
It's yet to come true.
people use I saw that people are using like the digital notepad and shit. I thought that was lame. I'm like, no, I need ink, man. Different colors.
That's it. Yeah, I need a selection of pens. I need a nice notebook and that sort of thing. Because my short-term memory is also horrible. I mean, I should stop smoking as much weed before I start worrying about that. But it's generally still bad. I forget most things. I forget videos immediately. It's the number of times someone will come to, oh, you said this in such and such a video, and I'm just okay.
I know. I know. Or somebody comments on an old video. What did you mean about when you said that? And I'm like, shit. Now I'm going to have to rewatch the video so I can see what the hell you're asking.
Oh, that's just asking questions like that is just a good way to get your comment ignored. It's just maybe that's just me. I'm not going back and watching my video from 2 years ago. Be more specific in your question. I've
Yeah.
not got time for this.
Yeah. Put the time on it so I can click on it and then be like, okay. Oh, okay. This is what I was talking about. But yeah.
Plus, I still kind of hate watching me. I've not got over that.
I I I like watching my videos unless it's one where I was way too vulnerable and started blubbering on T. I don't want to watch that. It's mortifying. I don't want to because I can't connect to that feeling anymore.
Mhm.
So it's gone. you know, so I don't want to re-traumatize myself or, you know, I just don't. So, but I do think that it's important because those feelings are so fleeting. I don't know if you've ever done this, but you know, I'll grab my camera right away if I'm having some sort of meltdown or emotional something, and capture it right away because my brain's going to be like, you're a badass motherfucker. You don't fucking get to be right here, right now. You get to go up, up, up. And so I try to videotape the low point because I know it's going to be gone pretty soon.
Yeah, I have had that. I've done a couple of videos of feeling pretty fucking rough.
Mm-hmm.
For the same reason as you. It's good to get it out there. And it's, I think, something that we might, as general creators, if we just post content when we're all right all the time, then people think we're all right all the time.
Yes.
And the truth is we're really fucking not. And I'm happy to share the lows as much as I am to share the highs.
Yes. One time I was on TikTok and I was really pissed off at some comments. And the thing is that I just get this comment asked all the time, all the time. Can narcissists love? Can
Oh
nar-?
God, that one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think I was at my wits' end during that day. I'm sure there was some sort of mood happening inside, right? And I took it out on this commenter who was just like every other commenter, you know, and just asking the same question that triggered me and my anger. And I made an angry video, which was very condescending and very asshole-ish and
Mhm.
you know, very fuck you, right? And I lost a lot of followers because they saw a part of me that they didn't want to see and it re-traumatized them, right?
Yeah.
And and I'm trying to tell them that you don't just get to see, you know, the information giver. You know, you're gonna see all fucking sides of, you know, what's going on up here. And a lot of people were very like, oh, thank you, or thank you for reminding me why I need to stay away from, you know, my person. And it's
Yeah.
like, wow, welcome.
I did like it was a while ago. It was like a 4-second TikTok. And it was just me saying, why do I have trouble getting over my narcissism? Because I like it. That was the whole video. And I actually got shit unfollowing comments and like didn't realize that. Like, what the fuck have you been watching then? If not that, come on.
I know they think that or how about the comments that are like, how did you heal? Like that's the end. We're at the end. We are healed. How did you get rid of this? And it's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck are you talking about?
There are just so, and those questions that just would require an essay if you were actually going to attempt to answer it. It's like, I haven't got time to write you 10,000 words on healing from a mental health problem. Like, come
Mhm.
on, you know, you've got to do some work yourself, and that requires Google. And you know, it's not that fucking hard. I get asked about diagnosis more than anything. That's the
Mhm.
big one.
Mhm.
How do I get a BPD diagnosis? Like,
Mhm.
that's, people want that more than anything. That's, you know, there's never been a best-selling toy at Christmas that people wanted more than they want a fucking BPD diagnosis. Furbies be fucked. No, BPD diagnosis. How do I get one? I need one. How do I get one? And I'm just blank that now. I can't see that question anymore. If I got quit every time someone asked me that question, I'd be done. That would be me off YouTube, like retired on a beach somewhere.
Do you Do you see a lot of more people glamorizing that? Like the fact that they have a mental disorder, where like people were more scared before and now they're like, I think I have this. I think I have this.
There's
You
a
know?
couple of types of people that I see. I think there are some people in the BPD side of things that do get a lot because they might be generally lacking a sense of self or personality in the first place, and now they've been given a label of something, and that's a straw to grasp at. You've got to, now I'm a person with BPD, and there's a bit of identity, and they
Mhm,
take that and run with it, which is not good.
mhm.
And then you get people who are just looking for any explanation about anything, and just, God, I get people that think these things come on for a bit. Like they woke up one morning and, oh, I've got BPD today.
Yeah.
And that sort of thing. And they kind of, have I got that? And you go, no, go away. You're just having a bad day, mate. I don't know what to tell you. Like, you didn't wake up a narcissist. It's all right. Go back to sleep.
Well, like, uh, when you don't have triggering events,
Mhm.
a lot of the time you can think like, oh, maybe I'm okay,
Yeah.
just if you're not aware of what's really happening inside of you. Like I can be like in the past I was just totally disconnected about any suffering because I was projecting everything. So it was like, I mean, I still felt this black hole that I'm always needing to fill it with stuff,
Mhm.
but I didn't understand what that meant. Like, why do I always need something? Why do I always need something? Why do I always need the best new thing or the best, why do I need so much attention from, why do I need, to start a new hobby or buy new things and just fill that hole and fill that hole. And it's always, just like a drain, and nothing can
Mhm.
fill that shit. But I don't know what other people feel like. I'm like, well, maybe we all fucking feel like this, you know?
Apparently other people don't. I can't quite conceptualize that. Other people are apparently just fine. Right. And the other thing I heard the other day, someone pointing out, like for most people, like when they're not doing anything, it's just sort of quiet up here. Like they can just sit and watch TV and think about the TV show they're watching. And you're like, fuck off, that's not possible. That no one lives their life like that. Shut up. You're sitting trying to watch TV and you're thinking about that argument you had 17 years ago and how everything's going to go wrong tomorrow. But that doesn't matter because you don't deserve that happiness anyway. And so on and so on. Like, that's what Game of Thrones is like. Come on. No one just sits and watches it.
Well, I can watch a show, um, and I can sit all day and not watch anything. You know, I can read, but my attention, it's almost like ADHD isk. It's like, okay, okay, I'm bored. I got to do something else.
Mm.
It's like I say it's like a toddler with a toy. You're playing with your thing, and then you're fucking done, and then you want something else. Oh, I want what you have, and then you play with it, and you don't want it anymore. It's almost like with people too. It's
Hmm.
like, oh, I play with that person, and when I mean play, I don't mean malicious fucking with their head or anything. I just mean like get to know what's going on in the inside. I do like finding out what's going on, like how their brain works.
Yeah.
What do you, and then when I got all the information, I'm done, and then go on to the next thing. It's like, why am I keeping you in my life? This is, outside of the people that I want to have a long-term relationship with. They're separate, they're special.
Hmm.
But everybody else is almost just disposable to me.
Oh yeah,
Everybody.
they're on a different rank, aren't they? There's different hierarchies of people. And look, this is the mileage I get out of television. In my narcissistic hierarchy of other people, it's laid out like a sitcom. So I'm the main character, me at the top, and then we have main cast who show up every week. They're the people who are most important to me, and everyone else filters down into levels until we get background extras with no spoken lines, and that's most people. We have the occasional guest star, the occasional, people who turn up every few weeks, the parents, that sort of thing. But most people are just this, like, NPC, like they're just there. Their noise, their background. I don't think they might as well be drawings
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
It's I'm the same with that. And it's hard to, I don't know. It's like people are kind of like, if like I am with books. There's a book I want to read, I'll read the book. I'm not going to keep the book around or read the book again. I've read the book now. So that's done with. And people, if they don't make it high enough up that cast list, then they're like that. Like, I've read that now. I don't need to read it again. It wasn't that good.
I would be the opposite, where I would keep books. And so I collect, and I would collect people.
Right.
I say they're shelving because I'm putting them on the shelf. I'm collecting them. I can go back if I want to open up that book again with them, and then put you back. But you're just used for my entertainment or for what I want you for. I don't care about your needs. And the only reason why I'm giving you attention is just to keep you complacent,
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I'm
Yeah.
aware that I'm not just going to come and hang out with you and only talk about myself and look at me and look at all the shit I'm doing and blah, 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 blah. I know that I have to shut the fuck up and let them talk too.
Mm-hmm.
Do I hear what they have to say? No. But I know that I have to listen to what they have to say if I want to keep them on the shelf. Otherwise, they might go off. But I mean, I don't have fuck tons of, people on the shelf. It's because that's just too much to maintain.
Oh yeah. That's hard work.
Yeah, I can't, and I can't have close friendships either, because I don't know if it's just I'm secretive or I just don't give a fuck. I don't want to put in all the energy to keep this relationship going. That's why, I can't have a relationship with my mother because I don't fucking care. And I can't tell her anything about me because she uses it against me.
Right.
So it's just like, why am I even with you? Because I can't even share anything with you. Have you ever been in an abusive relationship, romantic relationship, where they were also fucking with you?
I think the closest I've come to that, and I wouldn't refer to it as an abusive relationship. I was in a relationship that I think became toxic to both of us.
Yeah.
And I think that, especially towards the end, I don't know, we could kind of go back and forth all day on who was doing what to who. But I think trying to be as pragmatic as possible about it, we were both doing things. It was just complete toxicity, and that's about as close as I get. But I still wouldn't view that as an abusive relationship at all.
Well, I mean, terms, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I have been, and yeah, it was like this.
Yeah.
And then my longest relationship was 25 years, and we got along pretty well, because we would just, talk shit. But we were, we would just giggle and laugh. Or he learned to, not. I also learned not to keep the fight going, and just kind of just let it go, let him have the last word. I would actually read marriage books and relationship books and try to figure out how to get along. I was very much a self-help. I still am a self-help person, where I want to get along with my people. So, and because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, I got to educate myself on what a good relationship looks like, what's healthy, what is me not feeling I'm being taken advantage of, and then me, I have that fear of being codependent, right?
Yeah. That codependency was a massive fear of mine. A massive fear of mine, because that was where I always felt like I had a lot of masking around sort of my feelings of inadequacy in a relationship. And so that not wanting to be like in any way dependent on somebody else again after that became a very important thing.
Yeah. I feel like in the beginning of the relationship, the lines get blurred, because I am, enmeshing with my person in the very beginning of the relationship, with my love bombing, which is real to me. I am, I want that person, I want to have a relationship with that person. And I'm going to be the best version of myself.
I struggle with the love bombing concept, because I think, do we really do it maliciously? The way it's talked about, it's like we're planning something. Like it's the evil narcissist hiding in the dark, waiting to pounce with their love bombing, and they've got this plan of how they're going to get you with it. And like, fuck, do we do that? It's like you say, no, we like somebody, we want to be with them, we want to do that thing.
Yes, I want to. Yes.
Yeah, and so I don't see it as a thing we do. I think it's something all people do in the start of relationships. You bring your A game. You don't turn up on that first date wearing dirty clothes with that bit of dinner that you spilled on you and stuff like that. That's how they're gonna see you one day, because that's how you are. But you turn up nice and neat and clean and let the disappointment come in over time. That's how relationships work.
Yes. But one thing that I realized, and I'm sure that even though everybody is trying to put on, their best foot forward and stuff, I'm still masking up being, taking my shit. Okay, I have to be perfect girlfriend material, and I do feel like I am putting on a show. I do feel like that, but it's not malicious. It's not a malicious show. It's like, I want to be the best, version of myself for this person. Now, in the past, I wouldn't see the person as a person. They were a character that I created. This guy's going to fix me in every way. Guy is going to give me everything I ever wanted. I'm going to treat him so fucking good that he's going to, kiss my ass and treat me well. We're going to have fun, all this shit. And then reality starts to leak in. And I'm like, I don't like that shit. What are you doing? You're bringing something I don't want into my play. You're bringing something. And that is when, I start getting the little micro devaluing of my person. It's just tick, 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 things that I don't like. And then they become resentments. I have bad communication. I can't ask for what I want. You're passive aggressive. You're fucking, a CUNT word. You're, to manipulate the situation to get your needs met. Still, I'm not saying I'm going to ruin their mind, for fun. This is, oh my God, I can't wait to turn this person into mashed potatoes so I can throw them away and go and find somebody else. That's another fucking thing, is that victim channels, they say that we try to find people just to discard them. What? Why the fuck would I waste my time?
Oh God, yeah. Why would you do that? Why would anybody do that? The victim channels are just they're off the map now. They're just totally lost, and they're like I say, you couldn't do this about any other group of society. You really couldn't.
Right. Yes. So the trying to or when they say it's because of the love bomb stage, this is why I stay in the relationship. That is fucking laughable. It's like, no, it's because your childhood trauma. You have some shit that's wrong with you up here that is making you stay in a relationship with somebody who feels like home to you, and you are being, re-triggered by the ghost of your parent, basically, through us. And, I've been trauma bonded myself. So, I know what that fucking feels like. And then you end up begging them. And so I get it, begging them to be nice to you. And I feel so fucking pathetic that I start abusing the shit out of them. That's what I would do. As soon as you start to devalue me, motherfucker, I'm going to rip you apart. I'm going to, every time, there's not going to be any, why are you being so mean to me? It's, I'm going to take out, my verbal knife and turn your heart into hamburger. So you know how I feel. That's what we do. We punish you for hurting us. Even if it's real or imagined, even if they are being toxic or not, if I am triggered by your ass, I'm going to destroy the threat, right?
Yeah. See, how wrong is it that I wish I'd been more like that throughout my life? Like, I have these two warring sides, and there's the MPD side that wants to do exactly what you've just said. And I'm listening to you say that, and I'm thinking, fucking yeah, got him like a fish. God, get him. I'm on side with you entirely with that. And then there's the BPD side, that favorite person's anyone who's nice to me, and thinks, dear God, don't leave me. You can do anything you want. I'll put up with anything you want to do. Just don't leave me. And that's the side that cries and begs, and he's a snotty little weasel. And this other side fucking hates him. There is so much inner contempt for my own self based on that. And so when I hear people who aren't, and I know it's fucked up that I say this, who aren't encumbered, whose narcissism isn't encumbered by the BPD, and you get to just do that thing that I know actually in the moment feels so damn good. And I still have this little bit of, it's almost jealousy that I don't get that bit as much as you do, because it is held back by this fucking please don't leave me bollocks that lets me put up with shit and be treated like shit and all of that.
Yeah, I don't like to be abandoned, but I'm going to destroy you.
Yeah.
If I feel that you're gonna be a dick to me, well then I'm just gonna get rid of you. Bye. Fuck off. And get the fuck away from me. because I don't want to feel that feeling, right?
Yeah.
So say like, I don't want to need you. So my brain protects me by saying, you don't need anyone. And so I will cut off family members. If I am disrespected, I will never speak to you again. And I'm cool with it. And you are gone. You're like fucking toilet paper. Bye, flush.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. Nothing. You know, I don't regret it. I don't feel guilty over it. Nothing. I don't give a shit because I feel like you wronged me. I'm like Cersei Lannister, dude. I'm like, fuck you,
Yeah.
bro. I used to, my son used to say that I was Cersei because I only care about my kids, and I would blow up kingdoms. I would destroy everyone just for my children. Or if you wronged me, right? So if you wronged me, your kingdom's gone. I'm killing everyone. I'm
Yeah.
blowing planets with the Death Star. I don't give a shit.
See, now, don't get me wrong, I have done that because it depends where you fit on my hierarchy. If you're right at the top, then you've made it into the please don't leave me zone, and you can get away with a lot. If you're below that, then God help you. You know, there's been a number of times of just I will do anything I can to just destroy you, to just wipe out your existence. Because that was always my feeling of power, was if I can make it so that you never were. Like I will just make you an irrelevancy, just something that never existed, and people will forget you. That is where I always went with it. Like to make you remember that you don't matter and
Yes.
there's no point to you because you've pissed me off for whatever reason. And it
And
might be something I could justify, it might not be, but who cares? I'm doing it.
yeah, and see that darker side, you know? It's not because that was my plan the whole time, to destroy you. I mean, I really think that you're a threat to me. I really think you are. Even just um any small devalue, I get this anxiety in my chest, and then the anger just like fucking alien coming out, you know, and I'm just gonna and actually restraining myself is painful. It feels so good to tear you apart. And this is why I fucking pride the shit out of myself that I would not do that with my partner. I would just let so much shit go. And you know what? I felt like a weak ass pussy. I felt like a pussy because I wasn't doing what I've always done, which was attack the person who I felt like was being disrespectful or whatever, you know, any little microaggression, you know, and just letting it go and letting it go. And then it just, you know, and then I would try to bring it up and be like, now my partner likes to gaslight. So that kind of just gnawed on me a little bit, and I let shit go and I let shit go, and then it's just like, I'm done with this. You know, I'm done being fucked with all the time. And what's good about journaling, you know, I love to journal because then I get to go back to my memory and then see how the relationship was either progressing or, you know, going down or whatever. And is this a pattern? What's the pattern? You know, oh, I never heard. That's the pattern. Oh, I'm being gaslit. That's the pattern, you know, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, okay, I think I'm done, because it's like nothing is changing. And And if nothing's going to change, what's the fucking point? If I'm going to do all this hard work and try to grow from my shit, if I have to sit in my shame, you have to sit in your shit too, right? So I just want it reciprocated. And we're always going to fuck up. You know, you're going to fuck up. I'm going to fuck up all the time. My projections are going to get away from me. I can't. When a projection takes over, it's almost like you switch to, you know, something else. It's like it just runs away with you.
Oh, I hit a point where a switch flips and the person I'm dealing with is no longer a person, and I am free to do any form of evisceration I feel is necessary. And it is, there's a, oh, you've crossed that line now, you're done, and all bets are off.
Yes. And the line, like I say, like, you know, you're going up on the roller coaster, right? You can't stop a roller coaster. You can't climb off it. You have to ride the whole thing until you get to the end. So you're screaming through the ride. And then when you melt back into human form at the end of it is the only time you'll be able to self-reflect, you know? So what I had learned recently was to remove myself from my partner if I am gonna get on that fucking roller coaster. If I feel like I'm getting angry, and I would say 75% of the time I can catch myself, I will leave. I will leave and go back to my place and be, you know, and have to work through it. Or I'll sit in the shower for a half an hour and just fucking, you know, work through it. Something. But there are those times where I'm gonna project some shit, and you know, my partner's gonna have to take the full bucket of it. But then he'll tell me my feelings aren't real, and then that's gonna escalate shit too.
Yeah.
So he's trying to calm me down. That's not happening.
Oh God, no! You can't be calmed down. You no. You have to burn yourself out, and that's going to take as long as it takes, and involve whatever it involves. There's no right answer to that.
Yeah, I was with a borderline flavor person. I say flavor because I can't diagnose him, but and when he would have his meltdown or roller coaster ride or whatever you want to call it, sometimes it would go for like 4 days sometimes. And I would get bombarded with texts of just how I'm, you know, just the worst human being on the planet. Or he would go text by text when I'm trying to tell him how I feel about something. He's going through making sure to devalue everything that I say line by line. He would send a voice text for every line that I wrote and just laughing at me and shitting on me and just being dismissive. And I'm sitting here just like, I'm just shocked, right? Because when you're getting it, it's different than when you're giving, you know? So it's very shocking to be on the receiving end of it, you know? And I'm just like, oh my God, this fucking guy hates me, fucking hates me. And then after I'm done, and I have to block him everywhere just to get him to leave me alone because I'm being attacked and everything. Then finally, when it's over, he's begging me to come back or crying or something, you know? And I'm just like, or sometimes I have to go silent for a few days, and then he's writing poetry and just trying to fucking get me to come, or he's, you know, covertly saying he's going to kill himself. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ, you know? But I have never felt so wanted in my life than with the borderline.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my,
That,
the
I mean,
ideal is out of this fucking world. It's like, that's why it's so traumatizing, you know? It's like you'll put, they'll put you on a pedestal
mhm.
so high that your head is so above the clouds. And then they'll take a chainsaw and cut you the fuck down at the legs. Fuck the legs of the bench. They're cutting your body, and they're going to be like, and then you're just crumbled to dust. But when the dust clears and they lift you back up, it's like the best feeling in the world. And then you're terrified for the next time.
Yeah, because it's inevitable. Because what we do on that is that's more projection, and you come up with, because they're not dating you. You are a placeholder for the image in their mind that they have of their perfect person.
Mm-hmm.
And when you do something that shows that you are not that character that they've written,
Mm-hmm.
all shit breaks loose. And that's when they need to cut you down again, because inevitably nobody is the person that they've made up in their heads. And
Yes.
I've done that in all but one relationship I've ever had, I think.
Yeah.
The one relationship I've had post therapy, that I don't think I've done it there. But
Mm-hmm.
every other one in my entire life, all of them, you realize I wasn't dating that person. I was dating my dream girl in that person's body for
Yeah.
as long as that lasted.
Yes. That's how I felt with the borderline flavor as well. And when he would tear me down, I would tear him down, and then we'd just be, fighting or whatever. But I would take off and he would come and get me. So there was like, I'm afraid of rejection. So my brain's going to protect me and then just throw the whole relationship in the garbage. Even if I miss you,
Mm-hmm.
you could not drag me back to you to mortify myself into apologizing or saying something. It hurts so bad that I would rather suffer alone than come back. So it was nice to have, him chase you all the time. Chase you, and
Yeah.
then like, oh, thank God, thank God.
It's
But
a difficult one. It keeps you sort of locked in relationships that are not good,
yeah,
because you're just afraid of being alone.
yeah,
Um, and it's a difficult thing. And again, not a fun time to have both things when you sort of pulled away from something, but you have these two equally opposing forces pulling you towards something and pulling you away from it. And you're trying to get control of it with your rational mind somewhere in the middle. And it eventually all falls down if you work hard enough at it. But it's difficult. It really is.
yeah. I had to. Yeah, the scary part was trying to break up with that person because I knew that it was not. No, it's not happening.
Hmm.
I felt it went to that stage where I was now being devalued every day, every
Mhm.
single. There was nothing good, no more pedestal. It's gone, and the fantasy of me was over, and I was like, okay, I got to get rid of this person because I think he would be happy just to rip me apart every day. He'd just fucking be happy.
Mhm.
Um, and then, behind my back, go look for somebody else, which he loved to do too. So I had to do the little reversey thing and piss him off so much that he did not want to come back.
Right.
So I had to plan that out. And I knew that it would happen because he was enraging me all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to make sure that it was something really fucking good that I could, you know, where he's not going to want revenge. So I wouldn't be able to like cheat on him because I'd had my throat slit. You know?
Okay.
Yeah, nothing like that. But he sent me a bunch of art that he drew for me and took a long time, and I wanted it for a long time, and I just shredded the shit out of it and just shredded things that and just destroyed everything and took pictures of it and fuck you and just like whatever. And then even though I did that and I didn't hear from him for a couple weeks, he did still try to come back. And I went and reached out to his ex-wife. And he fucking hates his ex-wife. And I reached out to her just to say what a piece of shit he is. And she just reaffirmed, yes. And it gets worse and it's very abusive and blah, blah, blah. And she told him that I went and talked to him. And I just got one more phone call telling me that I'm nothing and all this other shit, and then never heard from him again. And I was like, oh, thank God. Now, I was sad, depressed, and grieving still the relationship. Okay. Yeah. So it was very difficult because I was learning all about, you know, trauma bonds, childhood trauma, why I was really attached to him, and why I kept wanting, you know, to fix the relationship and all this. But because of that relationship, I didn't start to wake up to my own narcissism because he really liked to point out all my fucking flaws. And a lot of them were accurate. So it was like, okay, okay, you know. And
I hate it when people accurately point out my flaws, and it's because it's like, do you think I don't know? I spend every minute of every day thinking about these flaws, and you feel the need to go, oh, you're not very good at that. I know that. That's just pissing me off now.
Well, one of my flaws that I did not see was it had to do with some social media shit. So me, the way that I would interact with my male friends.
Okay.
I'm not a sexual person, but I'm very you know, I'll banter with you, and you know, I'm very, you know, I talk shit, right? And then guys see the aggression, I guess, as sexy, but I wasn't looking at that. I was just being me. But he's a dude, and he's like, they want to fuck you. And I'm like, no, they don't. I don't give a shit. You know, who cares? And he would say, okay, how do you like this? And then he would go and start doing the same thing that I do on my platform to girls. And then all the girls are thinking that he's flirting and shit. And I'm like, okay, I see what you're doing. I understand. I see. Because I didn't empathize with him. I did not care. I didn't care how he felt. Basically, you're a pussy. You're fucking insecure, blah, 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 blah. Like, okay, well, I'm going to show you. And that was the only time when I was able to see my bad behavior, is when he would punish me for the behavior the exact same way. I had to feel it myself, my own perspective, because I'm not going to see your perspective. So he gave me many punishments that made me wake up to my toxicity, you know, and I was just like, oh shit. I never realized this because I felt like I'm just sleepwalking through life because this is my normal, you know? So I needed a toxic person to show me that I'm toxic. That makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of things that I needed pointing out to me. and I'm struggling, but I don't think it's because that I've never needed anything pointing out to me. I think it's to do with my own self-belief that I've
Mhm.
kind of just sort of blocked things out. Like, there's nothing I needed pointing out to me. I'm sure there has been over the years. I'm very sure there has been, but nothing's coming to mind.
Well, one thing was, he would yell. I don't know if you're a yeller.
Not
Like,
anymore. I I
ask,
don't know if I've
ask,
ever been a yeller.
okay. And I asked, and I said, why do you have to yell all the time? And he says, because you don't listen. And that's when I was like, okay, he's not being heard. And because, I have bad communication, and so does he, but he wants his feelings validated, and I want my feelings validated. So we're never gonna do it, right? So he'll yell to lower me down so he can be heard, but all I'm hearing is abuse being screamed at, and so um I would tell him things like, I'm gonna hang up on you if you start yelling, and he couldn't go 24 hours. Sometimes he would stop himself. Sometimes he would throw shit,
Mm.
and he would pick up a chair to slam it down, and then he would just leave it alone or whatever. And I'm sure that was very difficult, but I'm just like, yeah, this is not going to work because no, because that's going to be my face one day.
Yeah, yeah. I've ignored the chat up until now. I'm sorry, everybody. Hello, everyone there. They've
Is
all
there
been. There are some questions. Okay, let's go back. Let's say hi to hi Ray. Hi. Oh, hi Kat. Hi Dr. Reef. Hi BPD Rave. Hi Ray. Okay, let's see. What do we have questions? Let's see. Ray asked, can I ask you why you started your YouTube channels, and was it or is it fulfilling? I'm sure I've talked about that at some point. It was
yeah.
it was a lockdown thing for me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was nothing else to do. I wanted to. I recently, so I left. I ran a podcasting company until April 2019, and packed that in, and then so lockdown was sort of January, February 2020. I'd reached the point there where I missed attention. I masked that to say I missed being creative. I missed making my own. That's bullshit. I missed attention,
Hmm.
and settled on doing a YouTube, and just threw a lot of mud at the wall to see what stuck. Did some gaming videos, some movie videos, some mental health stuff, and people watched the mental health stuff, so I made more. And also therapy had stopped because lockdown, so it was just good to this became therapy for me.
Yeah, for real, it was. I started my channel because I wanted to combat the victim channels
Mm.
that were saying things about us that were not true. I'm just like, don't tell me how I think. Don't tell me how I feel. Don't tell me that I don't feel. Don't tell me that I never gave a shit about my kids, my partners. Don't tell me that I hate pets. What? You
Mm.
know what? Um, don't tell me that we all have distinctive eyebrows. Oh my god,
Yeah.
stupid. Ugh,
Oh, do you know,
oh,
I got a little hint of thinking she was ripping off my thumbnails the other day.
who?
My Dr. Ramani, she's she's changed her thumbnail style to be white and yellow text on a black box background. And it's like, um, kind of my thing there. What you doing? I'm sure she's not of all the thumbnails to copy on YouTube, mine are not the ones that will get you more views. So I'm sure she's not directly copying me, and it's just a coincidence. But
She just started TikTok.
Oh, I haven't seen her on there yet.
Yeah,
Right.
I was scrolling and she fucking came up and I was like, God damn, can I go anywhere without this person spewing her bullshit? And the video I watched was she's like this. Do narcissists really like animals?
Oh,
Do,
for fuck's sake.
yeah. And I'm just like, and she's not, don't. She's asking her audience, implying that we're animal haters. And I'm just like, she's like, because you need to care about animals. Can they really care about anybody else except themselves? And I'm just like, oh my God, I hate you so much. It's very triggering. Just,
Massively.
I try to stay away from victim channels unless I have nothing else to do and I want to critique one.
Yeah. Do you know,
So,
I've always found, right, in issues in life where you're trying to figure out, is this okay to say this thing? If you can make it about a thing that you know it's definitely not okay to say it about, and say it. And if that feels wrong, then so for example, race is a good one, right? If you're not sure if you can say this about a narcissist, make it about a black person. Can you say that? Could you replace the word narcissist with the words black man in Dr. Ramani's video titles and survive the week on YouTube? Because I don't think you could. Tips for communicating with black men. Anger and empathy for black people. You know, 7 reasons people get trapped in relationships with black people. No, none of this is all right. None of this is okay. You cannot say any of this. But if you make it about narcissists, apparently you can. And the answer is no, you can't say it about us either.
yes. She also said, I was listening to her one time, like when I used to come visit my boyfriend, I would listen to her on YouTube. It was an hour and a half. So I wanted to listen to something long. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to see what she has to say. And what shit, I lost it. What did she have to say? Oh, that if a narcissist isn't, if you see somebody with narcissistic traits or whatever, if you see a narcissist and they're not suffering, they don't have narcissistic personality disorder. If you see somebody, if you see somebody and they're not suffering, nobody would see me suffer, dude. Nobody would know, nobody has known who I am on the inside, except for my sister, who I told everything to. Nobody else. They would know that, I'm an asshole, but, is that jerk disease? Nobody would know that any of those things at all, that I would be suffering on the inside. So, because I hide everything. You walk in the door, there's a smile on my face. I'm Mary Poppins. Hello. Everything, whatever. Or I just have, a flat line of just being cold and just leave me alone. Everything will be fine. Just leave me the fuck alone, just shit like that. But you wouldn't be thinking like, I'm not the typical, look at me and I'm wearing name brand shit and I drive a Beamer and, I'm getting my hair done at salon all the time and, all this shit, right? Or always talking about myself. Not happening. I'm a watcher. I'm going to watch you and I'm going to get all the information I need from you so I can perform to get the attention I want,
Well, because everyone thinks now that a narcissist is someone on Instagram who takes a lot of pictures of themselves. And so if you're not being that, look at me, aren't I beautiful, aren't I wonderful person 24 hours a day, then oh, you're not a narcissist. That's the girl in the bikini on Instagram, you know?
I never did that. I would go a whole year without posting a selfie. And most of my profile pictures wouldn't even be of me, you know? It would be of something else or a caricature or something, you know?
Mm.
Every while I would take a picture with my husband and myself. You know, I had to put on the show. Perfect life, perfect wife, right? Stupid shit like that. But otherwise, I wouldn't be like, you know, doing, you know, the duck lips and shit.
Yeah.
Nothing. And they would be more degrading and like funny and stuff. So, but I still want attention. I still want attention, but it had nothing to do with, you know, the let me filter myself up. Give me the dog ears and the tongue. I mean, come on, that's stupid.
Mm. I tell you, I'm still sat here imagining Ramani video titles in racist form. It's so much fun. Can black people be nice to their pets? You can't ask that question, Doctor. You can't.
No.
We have there were other questions. Let me go back and find other questions. How do you approach a narcissist with your feelings if they get enraged whenever you express yourself and then tell you to not push them? How do you approach a narcissist with their feelings if they get enraged? I would try not to. Like so many questions. I mean, at least the ones I get about how do you do whatever with a narcissist. It's the answer is realistically you can't, and why are you trying?
Yeah. Usually when I am upset, leave me alone, because I'm just gonna get bite back for whatever. I can be not upset at you, but at something else, but it's going to be projected on you if you throw meat in my cage. So don't do that. And and when I'm happy, let me be fucking happy. And so up shit either, you know? I think that the best time to bring up any problem that you have, at least with me, would be right after the fact. Because if you're bringing up shit, you know, that's already passed by, it's gone. So my feelings aren't attached to it at that time anymore, you know? And so it would be like, I want to discuss this because I love you. You really need to throw some flowers on that shit. You really need to make sure that you care about my mental state. You want me happy. You want us to get along. You're not going to blame me for shit. And you're going to use I feel words. You're never going to attack. You do that, you know, shit like that.
Yeah.
And what sucks for you is you got to walk on eggshells trying to present yourself in a very delicate way. So, and my sister used to do this, and it used to work on me all the fucking time. She would just set me up to discuss something, and I would see what she's doing, and I'd be like, okay, she's trying really hard so I don't kill her. So I think I'm not going to kill her because she's actually putting in the effort to be, you know, kind and be very careful. That means that she really wants to connect with me on this issue right now. So I saw the effort. And so I wasn't, a super dick in my response. It kind of helped me even in those moments when she was setting me up to kind of process, so I wouldn't attack. You know how you get the automatic trigger? Boom. So it kept me from that hairline trigger and just to relax the gun. Relax the gun. And so I don't attack her. So, but I just suggest trying different. There is no one way. Your person is unique, but they will react to
Yeah,
anything negative. So just keep that part in mind and try different things, you know?
absolutely. But I would also, you know, just at least try talking to them. I mean, like one of the most frustrating things I've ever had said to me is, "I didn't tell you because I didn't know how you'd react." And
Mhm.
you just think, well, you could have at least given me a fucking chance. And
Mhm.
now I'm angry about the thing you wouldn't tell me, and that you didn't tell me. So what are we to do now?
Yeah.
You know?
Or having a whole list of resentments thrown at you all at once.
Hmm.
I've had that happen too when I'm mad about something and I'm trying to bring it up and they're countering with a list of demands for me to apologize for in the past. It's like, wait, motherfucker, I'm first. I'm first. You know, I want my feelings validated first because I brought them up first. Then we can go over your long list. This was like a 4-day fight. And finally, we were able to come to, instead of us doing, listen to me, no, listen to me, no, listen to me. And I was just like, okay, well, let's listen to each other. And then we both validated each other's feelings and fucking everything was good again, until the next time. And all I said was, for the next time, can you tell me things right away instead of holding a grudge or resentment, or if something's bugging?
Do you know what though? It's a great way for people to use your mental health against you.
Yes.
And that, I think, is how I experienced it the most. That was how it felt to me the most. Like I've chosen to not tell you something. I'm gonna blame you for that somehow. It's your fault that I didn't tell you this. And it's just another way of, like, you know, we expect this behavior from you, so of course we didn't tell you. I fucking hate it so much that I've gotten angry thinking about that. Actually, it's one of those.
Well, there's some things. I mean, I do understand now that our people will start to walk on eggshells, around us, trying to be careful not to upset us, because, depending on where you are, if you're on edge a lot or whatever, um, sometimes over time, you feel like, I think I did this with my ex-husband, that I was, he wasn't being heard. So he stopped talking about anything on the inside. It was all superficial. Our whole relationship was superficial. There was
Mhm.
nothing inside because I wasn't going to share anything and I didn't give a fuck, So he just um, did not speak about anything, and he did not feel comfortable. And he knew I didn't care, because we would get into a fight. I remember this, and I said, I don't care. And then he never screams at me, and he screamed at me, why don't you care? And I almost had a fucking heart attack, because I'm just like, it's like, number one, you screamed at me, okay, now I get to call you the abuser. And then number three is, I really don't fucking know. I don't know why there's just nothing there, that I don't give a shit, but it was very traumatizing
Mm.
in that way. So I'm sure that there's many things that I did to my husband that I was completely unaware about. Um, like I said, I don't see me being abusive. He one time, he was leaving to go somewhere, and I was like, I hate that he would come and give me a kiss and a hug all through the day. He was so needy and wanting to
Mm.
give me kiss and hug. And I'm just, you know, like, can you fucking never touch me ever? You know, please. I will cook and clean and everything, but can you leave me alone? Don't touch me. Anyway, so he was leaving somewhere and he didn't give me a kiss goodbye. Now, this was the routine. So I don't like when the routine is off, even though I get pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
I know, but I still want the routine. Otherwise, I feel like I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah.
So I said, where's my kiss? And he said, oh, I get a crumb. I get a crumb like a starving man in the desert. You know, he was being sarcastic. But when I look back on it, it's like, oh, fuck, he thinks I'm breadcrumbing him, which is probably accurate. But I wasn't doing it on purpose, you see? It's just, I don't want to be affectionate ever. And when he did get that affection, he felt like a starving man getting a cracker.
Yeah. I think, I mean, what you actually point out with that as well, it's so little of this, if anything, is intentional. We are accused so much of being motivated by how we treat others and what we want to do to them, and so much like you don't mean to do any of these things, like breadcrumbing somebody. It's just what comes out. It's what it looks like rather than something you set out to do.
Yes. What do you think about love languages?
In what sense? How do you mean?
Like, if you like physical touch and your partner does not.
I think that inevitably ends up in a bit of that's an incompatibility.
Right. That was my husband and I. He was physical touch, I was not. And I felt I forced myself. Have you ever forced yourself to do something and you just fucking were like almost like on fire on the inside of your body and you had to fake it? You had to fake. Yeah. So I never, ever, 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 ever want to feel like that ever again. If I have to fake happy in a relationship, I'm out of there. You know.
Oh God, yeah, of course.
But I had to fake happy. I had to fake it, and then I'm very resentful for having to fake it. And of course, I'm going to punish my partner because it's his fault that I have to fake happy for him. This is why, you know, when people are like complaining, they really, I love you for, you know, your shame. I love the brokenness. No, you don't. You want the mask. You want the mask. And it's true, because when my partner is not being nice to me, I'm like, mask the fuck up. What the fuck are you doing? You know?
Yeah.
I'm on my best behavior. Best. I am making sure that I'm watching myself, and you're not going to fucking mask up for me. You're not going to be good for me. You're not going to watch your fucking mouth for me. You're going to make sure that you're not going to degrade me. You know, when all I am doing is just, I call it the consistent fucking fountain of love bomb. I'm always going to be sure that you are getting the best of me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when I don't get the same in return, I'm feeling devalued.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens when you devalue a narcissist?
Well, then they start devaluing you, and that leads to badness.
Yes. Yes. If I'm going to feel worthless in my relationship, why the fuck am I there? You know?
Exactly.
It's like I'm supposed to be in. I want a good reflection. Now they say narcissists want to be loved or feared, right? Well, I don't want my partner to fear me. I want my partner to love me. Mm-hmm. So fear is for the fucking outside world, you know?
Yeah, that's for everyone else.
Yes. But I want a positive reflection from my partner. And if I'm not getting the positive reflection, well, okay, well, this is just reminding me of my childhood. and I don't want to go there no more. I already learned my fucking trauma bonded lesson. I do not want to deal with that shit no more. And fuck you if I have to beg. If I have to beg you to be nice to me, I'm going to hate the shit out of myself that I have lowered myself to some codependent level. Oh my God. I'm gonna just set the whole relationship on fire. I'm done with you. I'm done. Forget it. You know, it's just like, no way. No. I think, I'm sorry, go.
I don't always think it's a bad thing, though. I think it can get us out of relationships we shouldn't be in. And it's that decisiveness. And yes, it can be harsh and seemingly come from nowhere. But that I kind of admire the ability to be able to look at a relationship and say, here is something, here's a deal breaker. I can't put up with this. I'm not going to put up with it. Goodbye. Rather than, you know, just trying to put up with something, trying to capitulate and deal with it. When,
yes.
You know,
especially when I have to be on my head all the time. And I expect you to be on your best behavior all the time. Now, people will have a bad day or be grumpy, you know, and as long as it's like, I'm grumpy, I'm tired, or, you know, telling me or whatever. And then me knowing that, okay, I'm just gonna, you know, leave you alone or massage your feet or fucking go home, whatever, you know. Oh, sorry, Mr. Chicken. Beating him up. But just having, you know, some grumpy fuck just nitpick the shit out of me. And I mean, just all these little microaggressions, just all these little things. And then they add up into my resentment file. And then I'm just going to dump the resentment file right on your fucking head. You know, I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired of being fucked with all the time. Or I'm tired of you saying that, oh, I'll do better. It doesn't happen overnight. What do you mean it doesn't happen overnight? It happens every fucking day, dude. Every day. You have to work on yourself every day. This is the overnight. There's no goal over there. There's no fucking checkered flag that you have to get to be a good person. No, you have to be a good person every fucking day. And then, you know, everybody's going to have their, you know, issues in fights and stuff. And then we have to learn how to communicate better. Shit, another fucking goal that we have to work on in the present moment. Not over there, but right fucking here. I mean, I buy fucking relationship books still. And I'm trying, you know, they come out with new shit all the time. So I'm just like, okay, now what? I do have a really good one that's called Getting the Love You Want. And it talks about childhood trauma. It talks about all of our triggers, just regular people.
Yeah.
Not personality disorders, nothing. It just talks about basically why we don't get along with our partners and stuff and how to work through that shit. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is going to be so great. This is going to be so great for somebody. But yeah. So anyway.
We have a last question then. How can you tell if someone is reverse discarding you or if they're just having an episode?
I would say you don't know. Well, actually, if you are, they'll probably look alike, but no, wait, a reverse discard. That means they want you to discard them. So I'm going to get upset. So you will break up with me and I'm not coming back around and I will not be responsive to you anymore. I wanted you to break up with me. So I planned it. So they're not going to come back. That's the reverse discard. I mean, if I'm discarding you, like say we have like a meltdown or we have, you know, a thing. And then after we cycle through it and everything, then we're going to try to reach back out.
Yeah.
So, but my reach back out is usually aggressive and blaming and you don't love me. Fuck you, you know, just to get out of you. So you'll be like, yes, I do. And I want to talk and, you know, stuff like that. But, you know, if I am done, you know, there's not going to be any more response. There's not going to be any more response. It's like, but there had to have been some time. I mean, you would have to have been in the relationship for a while because it doesn't go from I'm in love with you to, you know, in 2 weeks. At least
No, it takes time.
No. Usually it's very long for me. I mean, I think my shortest relationships are 2 years, you know?
Right.
Yeah. Like if you're gone within 2 months, yeah, you were not my forever person. You were not the person that I was like, you were just somebody to play with, you know, while I was waiting for my prince to gallop to me, you know? So yeah, if you make it past the 2-month mark, that means I'm putting in some motherfucking effort. I'm actually wanting to work on this thing, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm trying to think of anything I can add to that, and I don't think I have anything. Lots of time people ask me, you know, how do you tell if someone's just if they really mean this or they don't mean it? And
I know.
It's such an impossible question to answer.
You don't know because everything looks you'll never know if it's an unconscious act or conscious. You'll never we're doing something subconsciously you know, to be mean, or if you're actually dealing with somebody who wants to fucking hurt you and punish you because you did something to them. So it's like, okay, are they responding like to a trigger or do they really want to punish you? You know, it's like, I don't know. They look alike, you know?
Yeah.
Are you really sorry or is it bullshit? And it's like, and I've talked to borderline women where they said that they will say, I'm sorry and not elaborate because there's too much shame involved to make the laundry list of all the things that they're sorry about, you know? And, you know, to me, it's like, if you're fucking sorry, I want to know what the fuck you're sorry about. Because then I know that you mean what you say. You know, I get fucking, oh, I understand. What the fuck does that mean? I understand. You understand what? What do you understand? All the shit you just wrote. Whatever. You know, sometimes it's like, I'm just defeated and I'm like, I just don't want to fight anymore. I don't give a fuck. Sometimes like the fire for you getting closure on an argument or something, it's like, this isn't really that important now. You know, it's like my attached to it. I don't fucking care. Fuck it. I don't care. There's more important things. And then I wonder if I'm just gaslighting myself because I'm just like, maybe that was important because it's just going to keep coming up over and over and over again. But because my feelings aren't attached to it right now, I just let shit go. And then that's just going to cause more toxicity down the road. Because if you don't resolve shit, there's no growing in the relationship.
Yeah, and it does build up. That thing that didn't hurt today might really start to grate in 5 years or whenever, you know, and there's going to be another 5 years worth of shit. In 5 years, you're going to be able to say, look at all this stuff. and each thing is a minor thing, but they all result in you wanting to kill somebody. You know, it's that, like, if you do that thing one more time, I swear to God, I will impale you on it, or whatever it is. That when you've just been with someone for so long, make that noise again one more time. I fucking dare you. That point in a relationship, and it's yeah.
Yeah.
You have to just, they have to not be there, those things, because they will get you.
Well, I did read a book that said, tell your partner the things that annoy you, that this is important. So
Mhm.
you don't wait until you're so enraged that you're like, can you stop poking your bull? You know, and just be like, you know, in a calm way, it really annoys me when blah, 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 blah. But I usually say, I was reading a marriage book and this is what it said. That's, I get more pull with that. So
That's a good one.
yes, I'm not being controlling. I want to get along. And if you're not annoying my ears, I won't want to kill you. So there's that.
I like that excuse. I'd have to take up reading though, because otherwise the response would be, you haven't been reading a book. Come on.
Just say it's a PDF
That was
online.
it. I was reading a blog. That makes more sense. Or this week, Spider-Man was talking about that kind of thing. It will all go a lot better. It will make more sense. But, well, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been absolutely awesome having you.
Yes, I'm glad that I figured it out, man.
It's this new system I'm using. It's all coming to, I'm figuring out how it works still myself, but we're getting there.
Yeah, so sorry about that. And then you'll have to let me share, okay? You'll have to let me share on my channel.
Yes, absolutely. No problem.
Okay.
No problem. So, right, I will catch up with you later. Thank you again. And thank you for watching, everybody. I will see you all some other time. So take care, everybody. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye.